Today we are talking about Lucifer Effect, which is a psychological concept introduced by Philip Zimbardo to explain how ordinary, psychologically normal people can engage in harmful, cruel or unethical behavior under certain conditions. Yani hiyo ni mtu mzuri kabisa, ako na akili zake nzuri kabisa, lakini anapowekwa katikati ya watu wabaya anakuwa pia mbaya. Anyway, let's continue. This effect describes the transformation of a good individual into a perpetrator or a bad behavior person, mainly due to social roles, situational pressures, or authority or group dynamics. For example, you are given a role by maybe your boss to do something illegal, and because that is your boss, you just do it without even questioning. You know, this concept came from a famous Stanford prison experiment whereby some people are taken randomly and were assigned to guard prisoners. They were guards to the prisons or to the prisoners. Now, these guards quickly became abusive and authoritarians. And some of these guys, before they were sent there, they were just good people, empathetic, with good heart, so sympathetic, morally upright. But when they were taken there, because they used to see their fellow guards mistreating the prisoners, abusing them, automatically they copied the behavior. This demonstrates how situations and roles can override personal morals. Are we together now? Now, as a person, do you think this can affect you? Do you think if you are taken in a place where people are evil, can you be an evil person? You go in the office where people are gossipers, can you be a gossiper? Or where people are evil, can you also be an evil person? Where people are they just hate on someone, can you be the same? Now, that is, if you don't know, that is just part of Lucifer Effect, if you ask. Now, key factors behind Lucifer Effect is power of the situation, obedience to authority, moral disengagement, and the individuation. Now, let's begin with maybe obedience to the authority. This is whereby people may follow harmful orders from the authority figures without questioning, because maybe they fear they might be laid off, they fear they might be victimized. So they're commanded to do something, or they're just told to do something, and they just follow blindly. If you are amongst these people, you are under Lucifer Effect influence. Another thing is power of the situation. This is the environment. That's where the environment can just strongly shape your behavior, or people can just adapt to roles and expectation. For example, you'll find that in some places, some estates, people are drunkards. In other estates, people are just thieves. In other places, people are just gossipers. You find that they have adapted to the environment strongly, and the environment has just shaped them. That is, if you don't know, that is also called Lucifer Effect. That is brought by what? By power of the situation, which is this situation now, it is in environment. Now, the individuation. This is whereby loss of personal identity in a group, whereby you are a very good person, you think for yourself, but the moment you're in amongst your peers, you've never even taken alcohol, you decide to show them that you can also take alcohol. You are not a bully, but because your friends are bullying others in the place of work, in school, the neighborhood, automatically you do what? You have been lost in that group. This is whereby you find that some people, they cannot control, they're not themselves. They lose their identity in the group. You see, another under individuation also we have it's whereby leads to reduce accountability. You know, you are doing all these things because even if you beat someone, you bully someone, because you're in a group, or it's because it's a peer pressure, you think that if it's being punished, if there'll be punishment, it will be a corporate punishment. So you think that accountability is not there, so you are free to do what you want to do. Now, I already talked about the obedient to the authority, whereby you just obey and do whatever you've been told. Another thing is moral disengagement, whereby you justify that your harmful actions. You've bullied someone, and you're now saying they deserved it. You are trying to justify yourself so that you may feel better, or you are just saying, I was just following orders. I was just following what others were doing. I didn't want to be the villain. I didn't want to go against my friends. If you are that, if you are this person who just where people are just doing evil things, you just do it because people are doing it. You disengage. It is called moral disengagement, and now you are doing harmful things, and you are just saying them. You are drinking, and you are saying, "Oh, it was just a party I was testing." That is Lucifer effect, whereby just do evil things because other people are doing, or because you've been given order, because of social roles, or because of the authority. Most of the time you'll find this Lucifer effects in schools. People are bullying others, you are there bullying. In war crimes, because people are stealing, you are there stealing. In prison, because people are abusing the prisoners, or they're bullying one prisoner, you are there doing that. In workplaces, because they're hating on one person, you are hating on them. Because they're hating on your boss, you are hating on them also. That one is known as Lucifer effect. It is always good to stand out. Do not lose your identity amongst people, amongst your peers, amongst your workmates, amongst your schoolmates. No. Just know your identity and don't lose your identity. Don't accept evil orders just because you've been given those orders by your superiors. If it's a legal thing, trust me, when it comes to the baddest, if I may use that word, you'll be in for it. Now, this Lucifer effect explains how ordinary people can commit harmful acts when influenced by powerful situation, roles, and authority. Next time, we are going to talk about Milgrand obedient experiment conducted by Stanley Milgrand. As we said in Lucifer Effect, we talked about which was proposed by Philip Zimbardo, is based on the Stanford prison experiment. They experimented in the prison, and they found that the few people who are taken to the few guards who are taken to go and guard in the prison, and they found people also treating the prisoners. They just became also the perpetrators of the it turned the normal people into perpetrators. Now, the idea was about the bad behavior is often driven by environment and role pressures, and not justified by personality. Now, next I've said you're going to talk about Milgram obedient experiment, which was conducted by Stanley Milgrand. It focuses on obedience to authority. What happened? The participant, just maybe to introduce a little bit. Yeah, we find that in this concept, the participants were told to give electric shocks to another person. Many continued even when the victim appeared to be in pain. Yani, they were heartless. These people are very heartless. They keep finding people, in this case, people are likely to obey authority figures even when it conflicts with their morals. Now, we have three key differences, which is aspect, Lucifer effect, and Milgrand experiment. And we are going to talk about it in length in our next video. We'll talk about the main cause of the behavior, situation and roles, and authority pressures. I believe you are going to learn a lot, and you are going to compare all this, and you are going to know yourself, to understand yourself, whether you can be influenced by people, or you can stand your ground when it comes to the worst of the worst. Otherwise, thank you very much. See you in my next